So I think we can get started, and then as people join, either way at the end I'll do a Q&A portion so that we can, we can go over any question that you have. I'm Marco Paschina, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sportech Academy. I know some of you already. I see some familiar faces. Some of them I've never met before, so it's nice to meet you. Or some of you guys only spoke over the phone, so happy to meet you and see you, although virtually. Last week we actually had a great event in Milan. There was Design Week in Milan, so we hosted some of our partners that were able to join, and we took them to see raffles. So they saw the fashion and design school, or with all the Design Week installments. We went to Congusto to see the cooking school, and the ones that remained until the end, we also took them to see AC Milan game. It was the youth team's game. It was the final of Coppa Italia, so it was pretty fun. There were some famous former soccer players like Ibrahimovic, and we also had Camarda, which is one of the AC Milan's rising stars. So it was a great experience, and we hope to be able to do more and more of these activities throughout the year, so that all of you have the opportunity to come and actually see where our programs take place and get to know who we are better. But for now, I'll go through the presentation so that the ones that already have seen it will hear about it again. The ones that haven't seen it will see what our programs are about, and then at the end I'll leave it up to question, so that you can ask any question that you may have. So let's get started. So as you know, we are a Sportech Academy, and we run summer programs in Italy, Milan specifically. We do have 4 main programs. We welcome students. This has to be updated. Nowadays, we welcome students from more or less 50 nationalities. So we attract students from all over the world here in Italy, because Milan is a very vibrant city. Milan has been growing in the past year enormously. Has become a city that before you would only hear Italians in the streets of Milan. Nowadays, you're English everywhere, right? So and many other different languages. So it's becoming like a booming city. And when you think about Milan and when you think about Italy, you think about these 4 things, right? So when you think about Italy, you think about fashion, you think about design, and you think about food, and as well as football. We have some, some people may argue, but Italy is one of the national teams that have won the most in football, and we do also have some very famous teams, like for example AC Milan, that won a lot internationally. So we said when we started Sportech Academy, we said we really want to give people a reason to come to Italy, right? We don't want, we're not going to do a business course in Italy, because maybe US and UK are better options. But when you think about football, when you think about fashion, when you think about design, and when you think about culinary arts, Italy is probably the best choice to go. So the first program that we offer is a very special program with AC Milan. So AC Milan has been doing summer camps for a long time. They've been doing it in a different format. So before AC Milan camps, the way that they worked was that AC Milan would give the rights to third-party companies to run the camp. So they would give them a coach. The third party would select a training field and do the camp. This year, what we did with AC Milan is that we came up with a completely new experience. That's why the camp is not called AC Milan Camp, Junior Camp. It's AC Milan Academy Elite Experience, because for the first time in history, AC Milan decided to do the summer program in Centro Vismara, which is AC Milan's youth team's official training center. So they open it up. It's a sacred place. They never open it up to anyone. You need a permit to be able to get in, etc. But this year, they were like, okay, we want to do a great experience here in Milan. We want to be able to bring, international students from all over the world to be able to attend this program. So we did an exclusivity deal with them, and we built together this program. It's a program targeted to students age 8 to 16 years old, boys and girls. Now also female teams in the Italian Serie A are growing extremely rapidly. AC Milan is a very great team, and that's the Centro Vismara. It's also where the AC Milan female team trains and plays games. So we are betting like heavily on that as well. All the program is in English, so most of coaches are Italian. They're coaches from the AC Milan youth team, so they're not coaches that just teach during the summer program, but they are the coaches from the youth teams that in this moment in time they will be on vacation, so they will be joining the trainings. It's football only, so there's no football in English, football in coding. We decided to do a football only program, given the type of elite training that we're gonna provide. This year is, it's one of the reasons why they decided to do this is also because AC Milan is turning 125 years old. So a club with a lot of history, a lot of international trophies. This year are not performing so well, but hopefully the team will be back at the top level. This is like easy picture of Centro Vismara. The cool thing about Centro Vismara is that when you enter, the whole training center is AC Milan training center. So when kids walk into it, they feel like as if they were AC Milan players, right? The type of model, again, as I was telling you before, is a bit more performance based than other typical football programs. We do focus on advanced technical and tactical training, focus on individual skills, high performance athletic preparation, mental coaching, nutritional recovery, and match analysis. This doesn't mean that the program is only for pro players. I would say that we have 3 players category. We do have kids that maybe one day they'll be able to become football players and maybe top league football players. We do have kids that are good at football. They're great, but maybe in their life they'll never become a football player. And then we have AC Milan fans or kids that want to have a great time during the summer and decide to do our program. So if you have students that that fit into those categories, they shouldn't. I think it will be a great fit for them. As I was telling you, on top of having AC Milan coaches, we'll also have AC Milan legends. Who are AC Milan legends? They are former AC Milan players that will come and train with our camp participants, which is pretty unique. I would have loved to have that when I was growing up, being able to train with some of our of AC Milan legends. And might also be that also depends on their commitments. There might be also 1 or 2 actual football players from AC Milan joining. We also have, the tours to Casa Milan as well as San Siro based on the weeks. So it's very cool because they get to really live what the true, also the historical AC Milan places. As I was sharing a bit, each day focuses on a different pillar, let's say. So Monday, reception and evaluation; Tuesday, technique and tactics; Wednesday, performance and strategy; Thursday, development and competition; Friday, optimization and competition; Saturday, there's the final tournament and celebration. So for the students that will do the residential program, which if you come from abroad, I highly suggest, they will check in on Sunday and check out on Saturday. So they will be done by midday, and then they can leave the program. We allow students to stay for also more than a week. Students can stay 1, 2, 3, or 4 weeks. I would say that the farther they come from, the more weeks they do. So I would say that people that come from far away usually tend to do 2 weeks. Students that are closer maybe might do 1 or 2 weeks. We also have the day program, which it's technically from people from Milan, but there's also foreign students that we get that maybe they're still a bit young, so their parents decide to travel to them with them to Milan. This is the typical day. It's as I was telling you, like it's football all day. Wake up, breakfast, then the AC Milan shuttle will come to the hotel where they reside. We'll pick them up, bring them to the training center. They will train in the morning, have lunch, relax a bit because in the summer it's pretty warm, and then in the afternoon again train and competitions. When they finish training, they have showers at the training center. Then they will go back to the hotel, have dinner, and then do evening activities. So basically, the way that it works is that in the evening there's some entertainment. So last year there was the Euro Cup, so they watch the Euro Cup. Sometimes they play PlayStation. They are so tired by that time that all participants tend to behave pretty well, and then they go back. They go to sleep because the day after they have to wake up relatively early. During the night, they are monitored by house parents 24/7, so they're never left by themselves. They reside in a hotel called Park Hotel. It's a four-star hotel. It's a 4-minute ride from the training center, so very, very convenient. We have double rooms, we have little triple rooms, but the triple rooms are booked already. We had some kids that traveled all together and has to be in a triple room, so all the ones that remain are the double rooms, which are very nice. The hotel just got remodeled, so it's a very safe place to be. We have a floor just for our players, so we are completely, let's say, also protected by the rest. This kit is not the complete kit because AC Milan decided to add parts to the kit. So each player will get 2 jerseys, so the red and black and the white AC Milan jerseys, the pants, 2 socks, the bag, but they will also get a cap and the sweater, as well as a polo, a bit more formal polo for when they are outside of the court. So the kit will be even more comprehensive than what you see from here. Dates and prices. So our program will start. The first week starts in mid-June on the 15th, and the last week will start on the 13th of July. That's week 5. So those 5 weeks are the weeks that we will have the program. Arrival is always on Sunday for the residential camp, and departure is on Saturday. The ones that do 2 weeks, we also have Sunday activities that they will take part in. Last year, depending on the week, it depends what we do. So last week we took them rowing in Milan. We took them in the Navigli, so it was cool. We took them to a place called Zero Gravity. So it's like these places where you jump around and almost simulates as if you had no gravity. There's Lake Como trips. So really depending on the type of week that they do, there will be an additional activity. For 1 week of the residential camp is 1,150 euros, and for 2 weeks is 3,800. This is comprehensive of the program, the kids, the accommodation, the meals. The only thing that is excluded is the airport transfer, and that has a cost of 50 euros if they land in Milan Linate per way, or 100 euros if they land in either Malpensa or Bergamo airport per way as well. And this is, if you have a group, then it will be a different quotation for the transfer, because I'll make an example. If you come with a group of 20, we'll probably have to get a bus just for you guys, and we will, we can, maybe the cost per student might be a bit less of the transportation. We do allow to bring group leaders. For the football program, usually the group leaders are sometimes they're coaches, sometimes they're teachers that decide to come with them. If you have a group of at least 10 students, you're allowed to bring a free group leader where we take care of accommodation and meals. So they will only have to pay for the trip. And that's kind of the AC Milan program. If you want, I can go through every program cruise through them, and then at the end I'll open it up to any question that you may have. If you want to not forget your questions, feel free to drop the questions in the chat, and then I'll go question by question, if that works for you, for all of you guys. I keep going to the other programs.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So the AC Milan camp was the only sports camp we have today, right? We do also have other 3 courses, which are, I call them pre-college courses. Some people call them professional courses. Some people call them pre-university courses, but you get the idea. They are courses for students aged 14 to 18 years old. So basically high school students, right? High school students that are looking to do a summer course to understand what they like. Maybe you thinking you like fashion. So I always say to parents, it's much better for you to invest in a summer program in fashion and then notice that you don't like fashion than getting to the undergrad and throwing 20K a year, 30K a year, and then saying, oh, actually, I don't like fashion, I want to switch. Or maybe you figure out that you like fashion, and then you're like, I did a summer program in fashion, it went amazing, I want to study fashion. So I would say I did this when I was 15 years old. I did a summer program in business and entrepreneurship, and I really liked it, and then I ended up studying that. So let's start with fashion. So the fashion program, it's a very cool program. We built in partnership with Raffles Institute. For those of you that don't know Raffles is a fashion and design school from Singapore. And they have a location in Milan, in the center of Milan, in Porta Venezia, which is like 10 minutes away walking from the Duomo. And the way that the fashion program works is that all classes are taken in the fashion school. So all classes are taken at Raffles. So I think that's extremely valuable because students get to really experience what being in college means and being in a fashion school means, right? And they get to access all the laboratories that Raffles has. We do have 2 academic options. So basically the way that the fashion program works is that there's 1 week is styling and shooting, and 1 week is tailoring and sustainability. What does it mean? Styling and shooting is the more editorial part. So introduction to styling theory, design and development of an editorial project, and execution of the planned editorial shot. So last year, they went to a photographer studios, they brought models, they styled the models, and then did the whole lookbook of the styling sessions they did. So by the end of each week, they will come up with their own project. And I think that's extremely valuable because first of all, it gives them hands-on experience, which is key. Second of all, it also allows them to start building a portfolio. So start building a portfolio that when they go and apply to college, even though it might be Raffles or it might not be Raffles, they already have something to bring, right? So they'll have something to show to the admissions officers and show them that they already have experience in this. The second program is tailoring and sustainability, which is more the fashion design part. So they'll start from the designing and concept, and by the end of the week they'll have created their own fashion piece. So last year was a sustainable T-shirt that they did from scratch using recyclable materials. So it was very impressive to see the work that the students did. So if students want to do both, they can do both. So they would do the fashion program for maximum 2 weeks, because the other 2 weeks the program would start again. So they would repeat it. So the maximum time you could do the fashion course is 2 weeks. You can also choose 1 week. The design program is the same structure as the fashion program. So they will take classes at Raffles as well. They will be in a different class, of course. And with the 2 academic options that we have are interior design and product design. So this is also a way for students to understand if they're more like towards the interior design part. And this is a course that also people that are thinking about becoming architects could be very useful for, because nowadays a lot of architects tend to do them interior design courses as well, right? And I was speaking actually with a friend yesterday. He's an architect, and he told me that it was really getting into designing of furniture, etc. So I think this type of of course could also be for people that are interested in architecture in general. There's a lot. Raffles does a great job with AI. They do great projects using AI, right? Like where students get to apply AI, and I think um, this is extremely interesting and extremely valuable for what they learn. The second part is product design, right? The second stream of the course, and again, also here they will access labs and come up with their own projects. We saw last week for the partners that came see it, there were some cool projects that Raffles students did. They were already undergrad students, and you can also mix and match, right? So you can do 1 week of fashion and 1 week of design, or 1 week of fashion and 1 week of food, or vice versa. Like you can do this, and we do have students that do choose this type of mix. So the typical day at Raffles for the fashion and the design program is, they would have, in the morning it's mainly lectures, and in the afternoon is laboratories. So basically in the morning you learn the theoretical part, and in the afternoon you put in practice what you learn. A good question that a lot of people ask me is, what about if I don't know anything about fashion or design? This is the opportunity to learn something from scratch. We do have students that have never done anything in this world, or we also do have students that say, "Oh, but what about if I really took some design or fashion classes?" The response is, being such hands-on subjects and hands-on professions. If you already have experience in these fields, it can only it can only help you to push you farther in the project, because in the end the project that students will do will really be based on what they know. So the students that have more experience, they will be able to really put more into their own project, into their own personal project. The dates, the dates are different from the football program because we do not have anything in June. So the first week starts on June 29th and ends on July 5th. And the last week starts on July 20th and ends on July 26th. So it's very easy because it's the 4 weeks of July. 1 week residential is 1,150 euros, and 2 weeks is 3,700. We also do have the day camps. 1 week is 790 euros, 2 weeks is 1,500. And when you think about these courses, something that I want to add, which I think is very important, is that when you look into, let's say, UK, you might find some schools that offer fashion courses, right? And you might see the price being double than the price we're offering. I know UK is likely more expensive than with the VAT. It's got a bit more expensive, but also we believe that we're giving a very very like premium product at a very reasonable price for the audience. So I think that's something to keep in mind when you speak with families. And like Milan, in the summer, it's a great place to be. And especially for these subjects, right? The last course, which I think I cannot say is my favorite one, but I think it's a course that it's extremely cool. It's the food course. This course is in partnership with Congusto. So Congusto is a very premium culinary school in Italy. I would say that there's two main schools in Italy, culinary schools, and Congusto is one of those. they have students interning at Michelin star restaurants, Four Season. So it's a very high level school. And the cool thing about this course is that, not, let's say like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if somebody told their parents, I want to go be a chef, parents would be like, oh, maybe study college and then we see what happens. But now there's so many chef celebrities that it became something very cool to do. And in order to really complement the course, when with Congusto, when we structure it, we were like, we don't want to do a course that is just cooking, but we also want to give them knowledge on how to start a restaurant business, so the business part, right? How to source food from local suppliers. So they take them to local markets and figuring out which suppliers, which fresh produce to get. They do food photography courses, and that's key, right? When a new restaurant opens, what do? You look at the pictures. You like the pictures, you go. You don't like the pictures, you don't go, right? And I think also that whole communication part, it's key. There's two streams of the program. So there's the Italian cooking part. So it's mostly pasta making, complex dishes, regional recipes. We do have a pizza master class that we do in each of the two models, because you come to Italy, you cannot not learn how to do pizza and focaccia. But this is the more like cooking, like hardcore cooking type of class. And the second option is pastry. So everything that has to do with Italian pastry. All the classes are done at Raffles, at Congusto, with chefs, professional chefs. We have a cool video that we did last week. It's on our social media. So look at it. There's the chef that gives the welcome to students. So I think this course, we also see a lot of students doing maybe 1 week of fashion, 2 week of fashion, and one of food, because they're like, since they already come to Italy, they're like, okay, I also want to take the Italian cooking course. And I think, it's great skills to have, whether you're looking to do a career in this field or not. This is a very easy schedule. So morning classes, lunch, and then afternoon classes. All the programs of the pre-college, they end at 5. So design, fashion, and food, they end up at 5. After that, they all go back to the dormitory. They're always accompanied by the house parents, so they're never alone. Like, they take public transportation, but they always go with our staff. And then they all reside at Aparto. So Aparto is one of the most, or if not the most, premium dorm in Milan. I wish that when I studied in college, we had such dorms. They have single rooms and private bathrooms inside the room. So it's a very cool place. There's gym, there's cinema room, there's air conditioning, which looks like it's given. But when I went to study in the US for my summer course in Boston, there was no air conditioning in the room. So air conditioning is always a good one to have in the summer. Always here, we have a floor just for us, so there will not be external people, let's say, entering in our reserved floor. And yeah, the students from these 3 courses in the evening, they all do activities together. So the Milan camp is the only camp that is separated from the other camps. All the other camps are together. Although it's separated, the two accommodations are 5 minutes away by car, not even like 3 minutes. So if you have brothers and sisters coming and maybe they are in different camps, they will not be together, that they can see each other. But of course, if one of them is homesick and wants to see the other one, we can arrange for that, since it's very close. I will go quickly to the booking process, so that you also get an idea on how that works, and then I'll open up to questions, to all the questions that you may have. Sorry for keeping you a bit long, but I just wanted to make sure that I showed everything to you. So if you have students interested in booking, Of course, like, let us know, because, so that we know it's a student of yours coming our way. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But if you go on our webpage and you hit on book now, you fill out this form, and if it's you as an agent doing it, when you put the relationship to student, you put educational consultant, and then you select the name of your agency, right? So that we know that this student is coming from you. Either way, you let us know, and of course we'll track it. And then once they submit this application, they will receive an acceptance letter. In the acceptance letter, there will be the amount to pay for the deposit, which is 30%. Some families want to pay everything right away, and that's fine. And then the remaining balance has to be paid by May 31st. So that's the end of our applications. If they need visas, we do have a visa step-by-step guide in our on our media kit that we will share after the meeting. So that all of you have the media kit, and we do prepare an invitation letter. So basically, once the student is enrolled, we prepare an invitation letter saying that the student is enrolled in our course and will be staying in our accommodation. So all of them, that the other things that the family has to do is to get medical insurance, get the flights, as well as get a responsibility if they're a minor, which most of our students are a minor. So we take care of all of that. We do not take care of the visa process, but we do give you all the necessary documentation that they might need. I think I'm done, and I will open up to any questions. Something that is very important to outline, that I wanted to say is, if you have a student doing 2 weeks of fashion and 1 week of food, the prices will not be the price of 3 weeks. It will be the price of 2 weeks of fashion plus 1 week of food. Why? Because with our partners, we have such agreements that we do not get discount if they do 3 weeks, let's say, of the program. We will not get that discount from the place where we do 1 week. So it will be, but once you have students interested, happy to share, the exact quotes, so that it doesn't become confusing. So I'm looking at the question. I see that Ed has a good amount of questions. Hi, Ed. Nice to see you again. So the first question of, if a group leader comes with under 10 students, how much would it be his room and board? So basically, we do have rates. If it's 10 or more, it's free. If not, it depends on the number. We do have a rate for if they bring less than 5, or if they bring more than 5, or 7 at least. I can share that with you, and then I can share that with you guys. I don't remember the exact value, because there were different values, but we basically try to run it at cost. So we don't make anything on it. We just figure out what the price for the room is, as well as the price for the meals and excursions, etc. And don't overcharge, because for us it's great to have group leaders to come. Countries, we are around 50 different countries in all our programs, which is very cool, because we're seeing that there's a lot of interest from many different parts of the world, and for us that's part of the experience, right? We want to make sure that our students live a true international experience, because I think that's 50% of what the camp experience is. I think that's 50% of what students take away and bring back home. Then weeks that have no spots left in the football camp, we still haven't reached capacity for any week, since it's a camp that has a lot of capacity. But what I can say is that in the past 2 weeks, enrollments have spiked pretty sharply. I think this year a lot of people are taking last minute decisions. but I'm seeing high volume going. So I highly suggest to be able to enroll students before May 31st. Then Ed, there's another question, which is please outline the name of the hotel. So, okay, the students that stay in the fashion, design, and food program, they stay in a place called Aparto, which I will share the link right now. Aparto Ripamonti. It's about a 15-minute ride from the location with public transportation. So the other question from it's are your fees net? No, these are gross fees. So net, you would have to take away the commission. We usually work on a 20% commission fee with our partners. So for the net fee, you would have to remove 20 from the gross fees that you see. You would have to take away 20%. For Angelo, yes, we will send you the presentation once we're done. The presentation is in our media kit. So the presentation that I went through is a presentation that has everything. I will show the media kit how it works. So it's very easy. It's very easy to get around our media kit. So if you have a family interested in fashion, you just send fashion. So it doesn't become like they don't have all the other programs that might be confusing. So let me share my screen again so that I will show you how to use the media kit, which, one second, sorry. If you go, so we'll send you the link to the media kit, but if you want to find it, it's not hidden. It's on there. Oh, okay, so I'll look at it here. So you go on sportechacademy.com/media kit. So I send it here. So when you get into the media kit, you hit on media kit here, right? So it takes you to a folder, for example, brochure, right? When you go on brochure, you see the brochure for each course. So it's a design, and it will open up the brochure just for design. So you can download this or share the link with the interested families. So you don't have to share all the other brochures. But other things that we have is, for example, booking instructions. So you go here and we did a tutorial on how to book so that it's easy for you guys to really understand, to really follow the booking process. We do have pictures and videos. So we do have pictures for each program. So for example, football camp, you go here and you can, all the pictures that you see here, they're pictures that you can use. And as well as the videos, we have some cool videos on YouTube from last summer. And we also have like social media ready reels. So everything that is here, you can use it on your social media and with families. So you can, this is all materials that it's handy. We also have the visa instructions here, as I was telling you, that you can read. We put together, all the necessary information, and so that you can guide the families to the local embassy. So I see Susanna has a question on will be the main language in the football program. No, the main language is always English in all our programs. So also the football coaches, they will speak in English. Although most of them will be Italians, they will be speaking in English because again, we welcome students from all over the world. So we want to make sure that the lingua franca, like the standard language, is English. What other questions do you have on, that families might ask you, or, feel free to ask anything that you may need. Then, of course, you can reach me easily, but any specific question that you might have on the programs, on the dates. So we are at about 70% booked in our programs, Teodora, just to give you an idea. And Susanna, what's not included in the fees are the airport transfers. So airport transfers are they're outside of the fees, and also if they have, for example, extra nights, right? We do have some people that because of their flights, they come from places where there's limited flights. They might have to stay an extra night, so that's an extra fee that we charge. But all the rest is already included. And Alison, do you have Latin American students? We do have Latin American students. Actually, LATAM is a very strong region for us. We do have students from Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, and we are working with a lot of other partners in LATAM to be able to bring more. We also do have Peru, not yet. With Peru, we're working on an interesting activity for January, but it's for sure a country of interest. Turkey, we do have students. I think Turkey and Italy there's a strong link, and we are seeing rising interest from Turkey. So Turkey is for sure one of those countries that we are growing pretty rapidly in. To answer Angelo, I would say that the level of English really depends on what they're looking for, right? I think, as we usually say, a B1 plus is okay. I think as long as students can understand and they can socialize with other students, they're okay. All right, you don't need to have a perfect English to participate. I think that it really also helps you, right? Because it puts you in a position where we really have to try to step up your English language, but it's more, I would say, on the social side than the rest. Alison, yeah, if you want, write me an email and I will share you everything. I know that in Latin America during that period is summer vacation. So if you want, send me an email to my email. I will drop my email in the chat, so that we can follow up with you. And Ed, I will share you the quotes that you asked me, so that we can take it from there, as well as the general. Yeah, basically, I'll give you a sneak peek of what we're doing. So basically, for all the rest of you, we do have our summer programs, but we're also launching tailor-made programs. So, for example, if you have a group of, making an example, 10 students, and they don't need to be under 18 in these cases, they want to come to Milan to do a fashion course for 1 week, and then visit. I make an example. Then visit some other fashion schools, etc. We can set up that. We had requests for food, so organizing programs in Italy during a certain month for in the culinary school for adults, right? Like they will come to Italy for a certain amount of time, and with AC Milan. We do have these programs called AC Milan Experience. This is the elite experience, then which is the summer one. Then the way that experiences work is, I'm making an example. There's 20 players from Peru that want to come to Italy and do the AC Milan experience. We would create together with AC Milan a program where these 20 players will play in the AC Milan training center, so in a smaller group than the ones that we might have in our summer programs, and then it will be kind of much more of a ad hoc type of program. So we will be able to take them see the AC Milan game if they're playing at home, etc. So those are things that keep in mind, because you might get requests on this, and we're happy to build it. That's something that has to be built much more ad hoc, because it really, figuring out the dates, figuring out the amount of students, figuring out the type of experience they want to do. But it's something that we are starting to do, because it was very organic. Like, we started receiving requests and we were like, if there is request for it and we can do it, let's definitely do it. I don't know if you might have any other questions. Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be able to support. We are here to support, and anything that you need, let us know. And we're really here to make sure that we give you the best support in this partnership, right? And bringing, really making Italy a strong destination for this type of programs. Bye, bye. Ciao, ciao.